see if we can get it to pop up on this side. Usually does take a little while. Oh. There we go. Check the microphone. Check, 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 check. There we go. Check the microphone. Nice. That sounds good. Go and get this set up. Go back to here so we can see the chat. Go back to here. Okay. Today's what, day 16, guys? On the Back to Scratch challenge. If you saw yesterday's update, it's not the best, but I've been battling this knee injury for some time now, and it just finally got to the point where my body said, enough is enough, you gotta stop playing golf. We're not having fun anymore. And it was the first time that I've ever had to withdraw from a tournament, which was very disappointing. And frankly, I'm still a little down about it today. I think also just it's hard to try to move through the world when you don't feel at 100% and you're reminded of it with each and every step. So I am doing my best to remember that it's temporary, that it will feel better at some point, and that I'm doing the right things. I'm taking care of myself, and I'm doing the work that I can do. Because let me tell you guys, I also missed just a bunch of short putts in the golf I played over the last week. So this is time well spent. And I just told myself that rather than being upset and annoyed that I, probably couldn't go out and play 18 holes even if I wanted to, that I can still get some work done and that there's a lot to be grateful for. And the fact that I can be injured from playing too much golf is such a luxury. There's always a perspective, something you can find to be optimistic, or at least remember and acknowledge there's always something to be grateful for. Yeah, it just doesn't feel great, guys. This is not a new injury. This is something that I've dealt with for more than a year now. It's like last summer it first started getting really bad. I first started doing treatment. And I just, was pushing my body pretty hard, trying to accomplish this goal, right? Really been putting in a lot of time. Sina, ¿cómo estás? So even doing this, guys, some amount of discomfort. So I will likely do about a half an hour, I think. Hey, Iron Star is here. The Institute in the Bay Area. Look it up sometime. I will. Only 100 members. Steph Curry, Obama, Jordan. Wow, that's an incredible list. I'm excited to check it out, Sina. Very, very cool. I hope you come back to a subsequent live stream and tell me how it went. Oh dear. Ah. The frustrating thing about being injured, guys, is sometimes doing more can make it worse, right? And that's not really, you know, my personality is always like, well, we can just put more time in, put more work in, and we'll get a better result. And in a lot of things, that's often true, but sometimes your body just needs to rest and recover, and I frankly find that to be one of the most challenging parts of having an injury. My uncle is a member. I've played there before. Amazing experience. Wow, very cool, Cena. I'm definitely excited to hear more about that. So, guys, where do things stand on the Back to Scratch Challenge? When we started the challenge, we were at a 2.2 index, and I said, enough is enough. We can really, let's just step on the gas, give ourselves 30 days, try to get our index back down to a 0.0 or better, and set out, you know, doing daily recaps and really increasing the amount of practice I was doing on my game. Just went out and got back from a very cool golf trip out to Sand Valley. Played a bunch of golf out there. And after all of that, we're at a 1.8 index. So some progress has been made. Going the right direction. The worst part about being injured is the injury. I think that can be true. Iron Star. I think it depends on, you know, the injury and what it prohibits. You know, it can be really tough mentally to try and commit to shots or swings when you know that there's a lot of pain coming on the other side of it. You know, you try to do things to mitigate that as best you can. You kind of look like Nade Shot. Do you know who that is? I mean, the name sounds very familiar, but I don't think I could pick that person out of a lineup. Caviar and snacks at the turn. Wow, that's really something. Just really needed some of these higher quality strokes on some short putts in the last week or so. Boom. You know, so much of golf is mental, right? I can stand here and hit 105 footers and make, I don't know, 97, 98, 99 of them. But doing it on the golf course just requires a different level of focus, and so try to build as much muscle memory as we can and then hope that it stays with us when we need it. Maria. Hello, Maria. Boom. My name is Dawson. What's going on, guys? Oof. Definitely can be taxing on your back to do a whole bunch of putting in a row. Hey, Grant is here. Stevie Ray is here. What's up? Just doing some work on the short putts. And then as soon as we have time, guys, we are going to get back out to the short game area, work on our lag putting. Right? Shot a bunch of pretty good rounds and had, you know, between 34 and 39 putts in all of them. So, you know, we were like in the -3, -4 strokes gained per round range. Jailhouse spot tattoos on nerds. By the way, I like your tattoos. Thanks, Grant. Nick said lab putter. Yes, it is a lab putter. Very keen eye, Nick. We do have a couple other options back here that we'll break out from time to time. We got a very cool old Scotty from 2003. This is a Newport Beach Scotty camera with the old Titleist stamp in the face. And of course, you know, we've got a Spider from TaylorMade. Keep those on the bench just in case something crazy happens. Although, frankly, after the performance that I just put up on the greens, maybe I should try a different putter. I do really like the stability of the lab on short putts, typically. But my lag putting's still lacking, one could say. Lacking on the lag putting. So we're still going to keep doing the daily updates, seeing how much, if any, progress we can make. Trying to keep chasing scratch. You know, might be doing a lot more rounds with a cart. Although even yesterday that didn't help me. Just having to climb in and out of a bunker multiple times just really put me over the edge. Boom. Hello, Gash Leader. Welcome to the stream. We're hanging out, just catching up on golf trip stuff, injury stuff, chasing scratch in 30 days. What's your favorite iron? I'm going to say 8-iron. If I had to pick one club where I just felt really dialed, and you know, you said, hey, you got to hit this one close, I'd say, okay, you know, let's go to 160, give me an 8-iron. Feel really good about that shot with that club. Hello! Gash Leader says mine is 7-iron. 7-iron's good. Boom. Just need maybe a little more stability. Nice. Hello, EJ. Shout out to you, EJ. Stopping in to say hello. Oh, we've just barely grazed the left side of the gate there. That's okay. You're gonna miss some. Hey, Squirrel Sniper's here. Greetings, beautiful souls from across the pond, but under the same skies. I was enjoying a view of the night sky with my wife a few moments ago, seeing the very bright harvest moon. That was pretty cool. Have we all hit the like button? Great question, Squirrel Sniper. Keep marshaling the troops. Although, to be honest, it hasn't felt like a hit the like button kind of day, frankly. I mean, I got a lot of work done. It was very productive. However, I think, you know, I work hard to make this a place where we can talk about difficult things. And I've talked about, you know, some of my struggles with my mental health before. And today's just one of those days, right? You don't feel 100%, just, you know, maybe a little apathetic or down. You know, dealing with physical pain for me certainly can be a trigger for that. Like it's going on right now. But there's lots of reasons, you know, people can sometimes not feel their best. And, you know, I remind myself that just like, oh, that was a terrible stroke. You know, just like the really good days, they're all temporary, and this too shall pass. And it might not be tomorrow, it might not be the next day, but I know that it will. You know, I've survived much more difficult moments, and all we can do is carry on. Boom. So, I didn't really feel like coming to put some work in on my game and stream. Just, you know, really, I was like, oh, I really don't think I want to do that. But I know that it will help, and that, you know, the time is so well spent, even if I'm not feeling 100%. And that I'll be glad I did it afterwards. Right? So, even on a day where you're not at your best, right? You know, normally I've been doing like 2.5 hours of practice per day, or playing a lot of golf. You know, today might be 15 minutes, might be 30 minutes. And that's still incrementally better than doing nothing. Right? So I can be, you know, kind to myself and recognize that, you know, hey, today's not the day to push it. But also recognize that, you know, I will feel better having done something incrementally. Challenges are the lesson, yes. You know, there's always a lesson to be learned. And there's a first time for everything, right? Like I was saying a second ago, I've never had to withdraw from a tournament because of a physical limitation, right? I played 8 holes, and my brain was just like, it's going to be so awful trying to get all the way to the 18th hole. And I was just miserable, not having fun. So I said, you know what? Listen to your body. Let's just call it. So, you know, I've never had to withdraw from a tournament before, but, you know, there's definitely lessons in all of these difficult moments. Boom. Mr. Sig said hi. Hey, Mr. Sig. Great stroke. Thanks very much. It's always nice when a man can compliment another man on his stroke. Am I right, guys? As you say, it's about recognizing. Yes, that's exactly right, Squirrel Sniper. Boom. And it's only you that matters. I will find any way to your wild heart. Ooh. Mr. Sig knows what's up. If you guys are enjoying hanging out, hit that like button. If you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. We are going to have lots of cool content coming. Something that has been requested and that we're going to do is kind of a play-by-play, a little more in-depth walkthrough of 9 or 18 holes. I got a lot of great stuff on camera in the past week. So obviously it takes a little bit of time to both reintegrate into your life, but find time to edit all that and make it something presentable. But we're gonna have lots of cool stuff coming. Still doing the Back to Scratch challenge, so we've got about 2 more weeks until the deadline, and we'll have to see what kind of progress we can make right at the end of the season, trying to get down to that 0.0 index. Oh. So hit that subscribe button if you want to follow along. Boom. What's your handicap? Right now we're at 1.8. Trying to get down to 0.0 before October 22nd. Currently at 1.8. No. Just barely missed it on the left. Boom, right down Broadway. That's what we like to see. Got to remember to keep moving around or I'm going to get, just the most amount of stiff again. He's the handicap. Oh, well, yeah, I agree with you. Right now, it's my knee. That's the handicap that I'm dealing with. Are you playing 1 round every day? No, I wish. I wish. I did for the last week or so, play about a round a day. The gates make no room for errors. Yeah, it is very narrow, right? It is about the width of a golf ball, and not much more than that. Oh, just having to stretch so I can keep my body functional. We started at 2.2, Cuban Kai. Thanks for the views. Yeah, totally agree with that. Oh. I used to get, very, maybe defensive is not the right word, but I just was like, hey, let's keep this a nice place. And we do still pretty aggressively police the comments, but, people want to come say nonsensical things. Do what Squirrel Sniper says. Just say thanks. We appreciate your support. Hey, Reginald's back. Thanks for coming back to the stream, my friend. Appreciate you. Oh, we are about 2/3 of the way through our putting session here tonight, and needed to keep everything moving, or it was going to stop moving. Love it. Boom. Google, do they have putting tournaments, like just putting, no drives or chips? I think there is professional mini golf. I have seen clips of professional mini golf. I don't know if there is professional or tournament, style stuff for just putting, like on a real green. Maybe like drive, chip, and putt kind of comes to mind. Nice. I'm about to get my first handicap of probably around 36. Well, that's okay. We all start somewhere. Right? I can remember being a kid trying to break 100, break 90, break 80 for the first time. You know, and then eventually broke 70. So that's what keeps golf fun, right? You can always pursue, you know, something like a lower handicap or a new personal best. Right, my personal best is 64, so it's going to take a lot of hard work to beat that, but, you know, I like to think that someday I could shoot a 63 and beat that. Just got to stick to the process. Put the time in and let the results speak for themselves. And hopefully stay healthy. Oh, that was not our best. Been playing for 6 months now. Very cool. Golf really is the best. I've been playing, I'm 31, so about 18 years now. Right, I really started kind of taking it seriously starting in high school. Started playing, you know, high school and then like local tournament golf and some college golf. My best is a 91. You're right there. You're very close to breaking 90. Right, if you can shoot a 91, you can definitely shoot an 89. And then once you can shoot 89, you know you can shoot 85. Once you can shoot 85, you know you can break 80. Right? That's just how it goes, you know? You got to start, you got to get close and try and fail and try and fail. Right? I can remember a whole bunch of times when I was first trying to shoot under par for the first time. Like I'd be, you know, 2 under with 3 holes to go, and you start kind of like white knuckling it, just trying to steer it down the fairway, being like, all right, we just got to get this in the barn. Right? And that's how you end up, you know, making mistakes or sloppy bogeys because you're not really, you know, locked in. But once you've been there a few times and you know that you've made those mistakes, you've messed up and not got it done, that life went on, right? Everything was fine. You're still out playing golf again, and you can break through those barriers, right? You sometimes need that scar tissue to lean back on to be able to say, okay, you know, I've been here before. I didn't get it done. I know what that felt like. And, you know, you'll be that much more prepared for that situation the next time. That was a nice roll, right? End over end. Spent years breaking 90, and then all of a sudden I play my best game and I'm mid-80s on an extremely good day. That's awesome. My best is a 61. 61 is great. Cuban Kai, you seem like a very good golfer. I'm about to leave to my round. Thanks. Appreciate you being here, Cuban Kai. Hit that subscribe button, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, hanging out. This evening. What does your left hand low on the grip help you with? Great question from Nafiz. So the left hand low grip, what my intention or goal with it is for me, it really helps to level out my shoulders during the putting stroke, right? When I putt traditionally with my, you know, left hand high and right hand low, I tend to start hitting the putter, you know, missing the center of the club face, right? So by using the left hand low grip, it really makes this much more level and square, and I find that I hit the center of the club face much more regularly. But again, that's what works for me. Putting is very, very personal and unique, and you should definitely experiment or try different styles of grips, different putters, right? If I keep, you know, having 36 putts around, maybe we're going to go to the claw or something, right? It's just the speed control on the really long ones. And I know that the numbers say you're going to 3-putt some of those. It just feels like I 3-putt all of them. And I definitely 3-putt some short ones that I shouldn't. Hope you don't have to go to claw. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, every golfer knows it's like, that's kind of a sign. Oh gosh, that wasn't great. It's like, oh boy, something is not feeling great with the putter if you've gone to the claw. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button for us, guys. Follow along with what we're doing here on the channel. A lot of golf stuff, a little bit of life stuff. You know, we like to sometimes talk about more difficult things that need to be destigmatized, right? I talk about my experiences with mental health stuff, with sobriety, and how that's changed my life. Right, so not just the process of getting better at golf, but, you know, how can I share some of my experience or things that I've gone through to, you know, make somebody else feel like they're not alone, or motivate someone to make a change, or, you know, those are my favorite stories when people, you know, they listen to the streams or they watch some of the videos and they come back and they're like, hey, that actually, you know, really resonated with me and I did something different as a result of it. We've had a few people, you know, make those kinds of comments, and, you know, for me, that really is the best validation that I could get in terms of doing this, right? When my goal with making content was to, you know, show a little bit about golf and document the process of what I'm doing, but also to give something back, right? I've had some of these hard experiences, and if I can talk about them and make somebody else's experience fractionally easier as a result of that, well, then that would be worth it. Oh, hey, thanks for being here, Squirrel Sniper. We appreciate you. Thanks for all your great work moderating the stream. We are about to wrap up anyway, guys. A few more putts here on this Tuesday evening, day 16 of our Back to Scratch challenge. Just getting about 30 minutes of putting work done while we try to recover from this most recent knee injury. Oh, can't end on a miss. That's just bad luck. Never end on a miss. Just got a Spider ZT today. Had a Tour S before. Feels like a big improvement. That's awesome. That's great to hear. I'm very excited. I'd love to try one of the Spider Zero Torque putters. They look really awesome. I have an OG. This is a 2015 Spider Tour. No sight line or dots or anything, just the clean top line that they first came out with. So that's number 2 in the rotation behind the lab at the moment. Alright guys, one more good putt here. Nope. Didn't do it that one either. That's 2 in a row. That's bogey train stuff. We don't like that. There we go, guys. Managed to get that one through. Whew. That's going to do it for tonight's stream. Thanks for all your support. Follow along for the Back to Scratch challenge. See if we can get to that 0.0 index. October 22nd, coming up quickly. So we're going to run out of time before too long. Let's see if we can get it done. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.